You disobeyed a direct order. You risked the entire crew, Reed.
But I saved 6!
Do not scroll. The best part is ahead. Subscribe, hit like, and drop a comment. Harper Reed pulled her pickup to a stop by her parents' house at 6 o'clock in the evening. The engine died, but she did not hurry to get out. Her hands trembled not from fear, but from exhaustion. 48 hours earlier, she had still been in Syria. 36 hours earlier, she had hauled a pilot with a torn-off leg out of a wrecked helicopter. 12 hours earlier, she had landed at a base in Texas and received orders. 2 weeks of leave, no comments about the mission. She looked at the lights in the windows. Laughter drifted out, music, the smell of grilled meat. A regular family barbecue. Regular people who did not know the smell of burned fuel mixed with the smell of death. You coming in, or are you going to sit here until morning? Harper flinched. Cole, her older brother, had come to the window. 32 years old, broad shoulders, the smile he always used to greet guests at his restaurant. I am coming, she said, stepping out of the truck and straightening her jeans. Cole hugged her hard, squeezing until it was hard to breathe. You look like a corpse. What? They do not feed you at headquarters at all. She pulled back. They feed us fine. Then why are you so skinny? He nudged her shoulder. Come on, Dad already burned the 3rd batch of ribs. Mom says it is your fault she is nervous. Around 20 people had gathered in the yard. Her father, Roger Reed, stood by the grill in a hat that read Texas BBQ King. Her mother, Linda, was setting the table. Cousins, kids, familiar faces, all happy to see her. Harper. Mom rushed in to hug her. Finally, how long can you keep flying around those bases? It is the service, Mom. The service, Mom waved that away. You are not at war. You could call more often. Harper clenched her teeth. Not at war. If only they knew. Cole brought a beer and pressed it into her hand. To little sister, who flies papers in an air-conditioned office while we are out here dying in the heat. Everyone laughed. Harper raised the bottle and took a sip. The beer was cold and bitter. A lump sat in her throat. So how is it in the Air Force? Cousin Mike asked. Is it true women get easier assignments? Mike, Mom warned. What? I am just curious. Harper set the bottle on the table. Assignments are the same for everyone. Sure they are, Cole winked. Only you are at headquarters and the guys are at the front. I am not at headquarters. Oh, come on, secretary to a general or whatever. He laughed, slinging an arm around her shoulders. Do not be shy, sis. Somebody has to fill out the paperwork. Harper was about to answer when she saw her father. Roger was watching her with the grill tongs in his hand. His look was heavy, cautioning. She knew that look. Not now. Not here. She took another swallow of beer. Right, Cole. Paperwork. She kept quiet the rest of the evening. She ate ribs that had charred. She listened to a cousin talk about a new beauty salon. She watched the kids run around the yard with fireworks. Normal life. Ordinary problems. At 9 o'clock, she walked up to her father. He was sitting on the terrace, smoking a cigar. I am heading out, Dad. Roger nodded. Drive careful. She had almost reached her truck when he called out. Harper. She turned. I know, he said quietly. About Syria. About all of it. She froze. How? Former military, remember? I have connections. He drew on the cigar. But the family does not need to know. Understood? Why? Because they would not understand. Because Cole would be ashamed. Because your mother would not sleep. Because it is our business, not theirs. Something cold settled in her chest. Dad, I cannot keep silent forever. You can, and you will. He stood and stepped closer. You are a good daughter, Harper. Do not wreck the family because of the service. He turned back toward the house. Harper stood by the truck for 5 minutes more, then got in, started the engine, and drove away. The windows of the house glowed in the rearview mirror. Laughter drifted out. 2 years later, Harper returned to base from a mission in Afghanistan. 4 days without sleep, 3 evacuations under fire. She had a new call sign, Night Heron. because she always came in the dark. The commander called her into his office. Major Reed, sit down. She took a seat. Colonel Dennis Craig had the tired face of a man who had seen too many deaths. You have an award coming. The Bronze Star for Operation Falcon. The ceremony is in a month. Thank you, sir. Only one thing. He leaned forward. The ceremony is public. Press will be there. Your family can come. Harper went still. I would prefer no publicity. So would I. But that is an order from above. The Army needs heroes, especially heroines. He gave a crooked smile. Get ready for the attention, Major. The ceremony did not happen. A week before it, Harper received new orders, a rush mission to Iraq. The award was postponed. She called her mother. Mom, I will not make it for Thanksgiving. Again? Harper, that is the third year. The service. I am sorry. Cole is asking if you are even still alive. Says you have turned into a ghost. Harper tightened her grip on the phone. Tell Cole I have things more important than his barbecue. Her mother went silent. You have changed, honey. Yes, Mom, I have. She hung up. She came home for Christmas. Her parents threw a party half the town was invited. Harper stood in a corner with a glass of champagne, answering polite questions. Yes, service is going well. No, not married yet. Yes, she planned to stay in the military. Cole walked up with a new girlfriend. Red-haired, bright, with laughter that irritated. Harper, this is Emily. Emily, my sister, the one who flies papers. Emily laughed. Cole told me. You are in administration? No. Where then? I cannot say. Cole rolled his eyes. See, secret agent. Even though everyone knows she just sits in an office. Harper finished her champagne. Excuse me, I need some air. She stepped out onto the terrace. The air was cold, sharp in her lungs. She leaned on the railing and looked at the dark sky. There were always many stars over Texas. There had been many over Syria too, but they shone differently there. Major Reed? She turned. A man in his 40s approached, in jeans and a plain shirt. The face was familiar, but she could not place it. Yes, Jake Torres, former United States Air Force. He held out a hand. I heard your call sign. Night Heron. That is you, right? Harper took his hand. You are mistaken. No, he smiled. February 2023, Syria. You evacuated my unit after we were shot down. 3 of my guys are alive because of you. She let go of his hand. I do not know what you are talking about. Major, his voice turned serious. I am not a journalist. I am your neighbor now. I just wanted to say thank you. Cole appeared in the doorway. Harper, you two already met. Jake turned. Jake Torres, a friend of your sister's. Cole came closer, looking him over. How do you know Harper? From the service. Seriously? Cole laughed. You at headquarters too? Jake looked at Harper. She said nothing. No, he said slowly. I was a combat helicopter pilot, like your sister. Cole stopped laughing. What? Your sister is a combat pilot. One of the best. Jake turned to Harper. Thank you, Major. He went inside. Cole stood there staring at Harper. What is he talking about? Cole, you are a combat pilot? You were in Syria? His voice rose. You lied to us for 2 years? I did not lie. You did not ask. We did not ask. He stepped closer. I was joking. I thought you were safe. And you. I was doing my job. Your job? Harper, you could have been killed. Yes, Cole, I could have. And what of it? He looked at her as if she were a stranger. You have lost your mind. She walked past him into the house. Her father stood by the door. He had heard everything. Harper, he began. Do not, Dad. She grabbed her jacket and left. She did not call for 3 months. Her mother texted, she did not reply. Cole sent one message. Sorry about the party. Let us talk. She deleted it. In April, her father came to the base. No warning, he just appeared at the checkpoint. They pulled Harper from a briefing. She stepped out in uniform, worn down after a night flight. Dad, what are you doing here? Roger looked older, more gray, deeper lines. I need to talk to you. They sat in his pickup. He did not start the engine, just stared through the windshield at the runway. Cole feels guilty, he said at last. Says he insulted you. He did not. But you are not calling. Harper looked at her hands. Calluses from the cyclic. A scar on her left wrist from a shard of glass. Hands that had held other people's lives. Dad, I am tired. Of what? Of pretending. Of keeping quiet. Of listening to people joke about me. Roger nodded. I was wrong. I should not have asked you to keep silent. But you did. I did. Because I was afraid. He turned to her. I was afraid Cole would feel like a failure, that your mom would lose her mind with worry, that you would become a stranger to us. I am a stranger already. No. He set his hand on her shoulder. You are my daughter, and I am proud of you. I always have been. Harper felt something break inside. She cried for the first time in 2 years. Her father held her and kept holding on while she shook. I am sorry, Dad. You have nothing to be sorry for, honey. Nothing. They sat that way until a guard tapped on the window. Her father wiped her tears and smiled. Come home this weekend. Your mother misses you. She nodded, but she did not go home. Instead, she received New Orders Africa, a 6-month mission. When she came back, it was October, and her father had turned 60. A big party, the house full again. Harper arrived in civilian clothes, trying not to draw attention. But Cole found her by the appetizers. Hello, stranger. She turned. He looked better, lost some weight, got a haircut. The new restaurant was doing well, judging by the way he told every guest about it. Hi, Cole. Long time. The service. Yeah, sure. He took a beer from the table. Listen, I wanted, about that party. I am sorry. We already talked. No, I am serious. He looked her in the eyes. I was an idiot. I did not understand what you do. I still do not, to be honest. But I have no right to joke. Harper nodded. All right. Are we good? Yes, Cole. We are good. He started to add something, but Jake Torres walked up. He held a small box. Good evening, Major Reed. Jake, I did not expect to see you here. Your father invited me. He smiled, said you would be here. Jake, this is my brother, Cole. We have met. Jake offered his hand. Cole shook it coolly. What is in the box? Cole asked. Jake looked to Harper. May I? She flinched. Do not. I should. He opened the box. Inside lay a coin, a challenge coin, as they call it in the service, stamped with the silhouette of a helicopter and the words, Knight Heron, thank you for our lives. It is from my guys, Jake said softly, from the ones you saved in Syria. We wanted to bring it sooner, but we did not know how to find you. Harper took the coin. Heavy, cold. On the reverse side, 3 names were engraved. 3 men she had pulled out of hell. Thank you, she said, her voice shaking. The room around them went quiet. Everyone stared at her, at the coin, at Jake. Cole stood pale. Syria? Someone asked. Yes, Jake answered. Major Reed evacuated my unit in the middle of a firefight. 3 of my people would not have survived without her. Her mother came up and took the coin from Harper's hands. She read the inscription. Knight Heron, that is you. Harper nodded. Her mother hugged her so tightly she could not breathe. Why did you not tell us? Why were you silent? Harper looked at her father. He stood by the grill, watching her, pain in his eyes. Because I was asked to. Her mother let go and turned to Roger. You knew? Yes. And you did not tell me. She serves in classified operations, Linda. We could not talk about it. But she is my daughter. Her mother's voice climbed. She could have died, and I would not even have known where. That is exactly why I did not tell you. Roger threw down the spatula, so you would not live in fear. In fear, Roger, that is not your decision to make. They argued for the first time in years, in front of everyone. Guests stood in awkward silence. Harper held the coin and felt everything falling apart. Cole came to her. I did not know, he said quietly. I swear I did not know. She looked at him. There was something new in his eyes, respect, fear. She could not tell. Now you do. She handed the coin to her mother and left the house. Harper sat on the garage roof, the place where she used to hide as a kid. The stars were bright, the wind carried the smell of dry grass. It was cold, but she did not want to go back inside. May I? A voice asked below. She looked down. Jake stood by the ladder. This is private property. I know. Your father said it was all right. He climbed up and sat beside her. They were quiet for a while. I am sorry, he said at last. I did not mean to cause a scene. It is not your fault. Your family did not know. My father knew. The rest did not. Why? Harper wrapped her arms around her knees. Because it is easier that way. Because they would not understand. Because war is something far away for them. Something from the news. Not real. Jake nodded. I get it. When I came back, my wife left after half a year. Said I had become a stranger. And did you? Yes. He smiled bitterly. You cannot see what I saw and stay the same. They fell silent again. Harper felt the tension drain away. With Jake, she did not have to explain, pretend, justify. He knew. Do you live here? She asked. Nearby. Bought a small house after the military. I work as a mechanic. Do you miss flying? Every day. He looked up at the sky. But I cannot anymore. Medical board. After that fight, a concussion. My inner ear is messed up. I am sorry. Do not be. I am alive because of you. He looked at her, and she felt something unfamiliar. Warmth. Interest. Something she had not felt in years. Jake. Major Reed. Harper. He corrected himself. May I ask a stupid question? Try me. Are you married? She laughed suddenly, genuinely. No, relationships do not last long for military people. And I have the added complication of classified missions. Who would put up with that? Someone would, he said quietly. She turned her head and met his eyes. In the darkness, his face was blurred, but his eyes shone. Jake, are you flirting with me? I am trying. Is it working? I do not know, she smiled. No one has tried in a long time. He scooted closer. Only a few inches separated them. She felt the heat of his body, the clean shirt smell, and something else, machine oil, metal, a man's scent. May I kiss you? He asked. Her heart sped up. She had not kissed anyone in 3 years, had not touched a man for longer. The military had taken everything: time, strength, desire. You may, she whispered. He leaned in. His lips were soft and warm. The kiss was careful, gentle like the first drop of rain after a drought. Harper closed her eyes and let herself feel something other than fear, exhaustion, guilt. He drew back and looked at her. I am sorry if... She kissed him again. This time deeper, more desperate. Her hand slid to his chest and felt his heartbeat. He wrapped an arm around her waist and pulled her close. The world narrowed to the two of them, the garage roof, the starry sky overhead. Harper, someone shouted below. They broke apart. Cole stood by the ladder, looking up at them. What are you doing? She wiped her lips. Talking. I can see how you are talking. He turned to Jake. You, get down from there. Jake stood. Cole, do not. I said get down. Harper stepped between them. Stop it, Cole. I am 30 years old. I am not a child. You are my sister, and he is a strange man. He understands me, you idiot. Harper felt anger rise. He has been where I have been. He understands what I have been through. And you joked, Cole. For years you joked. Cole went white. I did not know. You could have asked. You could have thought about why I was silent. But no, it was easier to believe I sit in an office. Harper. Go, Cole. Leave me alone. He stood another moment and then walked away. Harper sank back to the roof and put her head in her hands. Jake sat beside her without touching. I am sorry, she whispered. I should not have shouted. You should have. He earned it. He is my brother. I know, but he does not get to boss you around. She looked at him. Why are you so patient? Because I have been through it myself. Because I know how hard it is. Because, he paused, because I like you. She smiled through tears. I like you too. They sat on the roof until 1 in the morning. They talked about everything: flying, fear, how hard it is to come back to normal life after war, about how normal life no longer exists. When they climbed down, the house was dark. The guests had all gone. Only her father sat on the terrace with a whiskey. Dad, go sleep, Harper. Morning is wiser than evening. She nodded. Jake said goodbye and got into his car. Before he drove off, he rolled down the window. May I see you again? Yes, she answered without hesitation. You may. He smiled and left. Harper watched the red taillights until they disappeared around the bend. Over the next 2 months, Harper balanced between two lives. On base, she was Major Reed, cool, composed, flawless. At home, she was a woman trying to figure out who she really was. Jake came to the base once a week. They had lunch in the nearby town, walked along the lake, talked about everything and nothing. He did not push, did not demand, he was simply there. How is the family? He asked one day. Mom calls every day. Dad is quiet. Cole, she stopped. Cole sent a message. Sorry. Nothing else. Did you answer? No. I do not know what to say. Jake took her hand. Tell the truth. Tell him what you feel. I do not know what I feel. He lifted her hand to his lips and kissed her fingers. Then wait until you do. That evening they drove to his house. A small place on the edge of town with a garage and a yard gone to grass. Inside was simple old furniture, photos on the walls, the smell of coffee. Sorry about the mess, he said, clearing a stack of aviation magazines from the table. It is cozy. She looked at the photos. Jake by a helicopter. Jake with a crew. Younger, smiling, no scars. That was before Syria, he said, coming up behind her. You look happy. I was. Everything seemed simple then. He slipped his arms around her waist. Now I know nothing is simple. She turned in his arms. There was no distance left between them. His breath brushed her lips. Jake. She kissed him. He answered, pulling her closer. His hands slid under her shirt, warm palms on bare skin. She shivered not from cold, but from desire that had slept for years. They reached the bedroom, tumbling onto the bed. He kissed her neck, her shoulders, found every scar, every moment of her story written on her body. Harper, he whispered into her hair. Do not talk, she interrupted. Just be with me. She looked into his eyes and saw her reflection, a woman who had allowed herself to be vulnerable. Later they lay in the dark, entwined. His heart beat under her ear, steady, calm. Stay, he said. I cannot. I fly early tomorrow. Where? I cannot say. He held her tighter. Will you come back? I always come back. But this time she was not sure. The mission was the most dangerous of her career, evacuating diplomats from a hot zone under fire, a 30% chance of not surviving. Jake felt her tense. What is it? Nothing. Just, she turned toward him. If something happens, nothing will happen. But if it does, he kissed her forehead. Then I will know you died a hero. But do not let yourself die, Harper. You have reasons to live. She fell asleep in his arms for the first time in months without nightmares. In the morning, she drove to base. In the rear view, Jake stood on the porch, waving. She did not look back. The city met them with fire. Harper flew the helicopter through a sky torn by tracers. The radio crackled evacuation coordinates, voices of panic, commands from base. Night Heron, confirm your position. Confirmed. 2 kilometers to the landing point. Negative. The point is under fire. Divert. Negative. The diplomats will not make it to the alternate. I am going in. Night Heron, that is an order. She switched the radio off. The co-pilot, Lieutenant Mills, glanced at her. Ma'am, we are all going to die. We are not. Hold the course. They dropped into the landing under savage fire. Harper saw the diplomats running for the helicopter, 6 of them, 3 wounded. Fighters swarmed behind them. "Load them," she shouted into the mic. The crew hauled people aboard. One did not have time. A bullet hit him in the back a yard from the door. He fell. "We are leaving," Mills yelled. "No." Harper lunged to the door, grabbed the wounded man by the collar, and dragged him inside. A bullet hissed past her head. Lifting, the helicopter lurched and clawed for altitude. The roof beneath them blew apart. A rocket-propelled grenade struck where they had been seconds earlier. Harper slid back into the seat. Her hands trembled, but her voice was steady. "Night Heron back on comms. We have everyone returning to base." Colonel Craig met her on the apron. His face was stone. "Major Reed, my office, now." He made her stand there for 5 minutes in silence. "You disobeyed a direct order." "Yes, sir." "You risked your crew." "Yes, sir." "You could have gotten all of us killed." "But I did not, sir." He rose and came close, looking into her eyes. "You are a hero, Reed, or insane. I have not decided which is worse." "I did my job, sir." "No, you did more." He turned back to the desk and picked up a paper. "You are being decorated. The Silver Star. The ceremony is in a month, and this time there will be no postponements." Harper swallowed. "Understood, sir. And one more thing. You are being promoted. Lieutenant Colonel Reed, congratulations." He offered his hand. She shook it. "Thank you, sir." When she stepped out, her knees went weak. She leaned against the wall and slid down. She sat on the cold floor of the corridor, shaking. In her mind, she saw the diplomat, his blood on her hands, his thanks. Her phone rang. "Jake." "Harper, are you alive?" "Yes," she said, barely finding her voice. "I heard. It is all over the news." I thought. "I am alive, Jake. Everyone is alive." "Thank God." He let out a long breath. "When will you be back?" "In a month. The award ceremony." "I will be there." "You do not have to." "I will be there, Harper, whether you like it or not." She smiled through tears. "All right. I love you," he blurted. "I know it is early. I know we have been together only a few months, but I love you." Her heart stopped for a beat. "Jake, you do not have to answer. Just know it and come back to me." He hung up. Harper sat on the floor, holding the phone, laughing and crying at the same time. They set the ceremony for Saturday. Harper arrived in full dress, uniform, medals, insignia, everything pressed and polished. Her mother cried when she saw her. "My girl, my beautiful girl." Her father just hugged her, firm and wordless. "I am proud of you, honey." Cole stood a little apart. "Hey, Harper." "Hey, Cole." An awkward pause. Then he stepped forward. "May I hug you?" She nodded. He pulled her in, shaking. "I am sorry," he whispered, "for everything. For every joke, every word. I was a blind idiot." She hugged him back. "I am sorry, too. I should have told the truth earlier." He pulled away and wiped his eyes. "No, you should not have. I should have asked, paid attention, tried to understand. But I was busy with myself. My restaurant, my life." He met her eyes. "I am the worst brother in the world." "No, just a brother who did not know." "Now I know, and I want to make it right." He handed her something. "This is for you." She looked. A handmade card with a photo of her in uniform and the words, "My sister is a hero." Cole. "Liam made it. My son." His voice caught. "He asked if you really saved people." I said yes. "He said he wants to be like you when he grows up." Harper gripped the card. "Thank you." The ceremony took place on the parade ground in front of the base. Hundreds of people, military, families, journalists. General Thomas pinned the medal to her chest and gave a speech about courage, honor, sacrifice. Cameras clicked. Then the diplomat came up alive, on crutches, with his wife and children. "Lieutenant Colonel Reed, thank you for my life." His children hugged her. Small arms around her waist, small voices. "Thank you, thank you." She could barely hold back tears. After the ceremony, the family went to her parents' house for lunch. Jake arrived later with flowers and wine. "Congratulations, Lieutenant Colonel." She kissed him long, unashamed. Cole looked away, smiling. The table was noisy. Her mother told everyone she could call about the ceremony. Her father sipped whiskey, content. Cole sat next to Jake asking about his service. How many missions? 73 combat missions. 8 evacuations under fire. Were you scared? Every time. That is the job. How did you handle it? Jake looked at Harper. I thought about the people waiting for me at home, about reasons to live. Cole nodded, thoughtful. I have been working with a Veterans Aid Fund, he said suddenly. Started a month ago. After that party, I figured I should do something, not just grill meat. Harper smiled. That is good, Cole. I want to help people like you, like Jake. People who come back and do not know how to live anymore. Jake held out his hand. Respect, man. They shook. Something shifted between them, the hostility gone, understanding in its place. That evening, Harper and Jake went for a walk. The sun was setting, painting the sky red. Your family is good, he said. Now they are. It was not always so. People change. Cole changed. Yes. She took his hand. What about you? Would you change your life if I asked? He stopped. What do you mean? She faced him. I am being transferred. Instructor billet at a base in Virginia. No more combat missions. Stability. A normal life. She paused. Will you come with me? Jake stared at her, silent, then smiled wide and honest. Are you serious? I am. Then the answer is yes. 1,000 times yes. He lifted her and spun her. She laughed, holding his shoulders. When he set her down, he kissed her long and gentle. I love you, Harper Reed. I love you too, Jake Torres. They stood in the road, holding each other until the sky went black. Somewhere in the house music played. Somewhere children laughed. Somewhere life went on. A year later, Harper woke in their new house in Virginia. Jake slept beside her, his hand on her stomach. Morning sun filtered through the curtains. She slipped from bed and went to the kitchen. She made coffee and sat by the window. The yard was small, but cozy Jake had planted flowers the previous month, and they were just beginning to bloom. A laptop lay on the table. She opened her email, one from Cole. Hi, sis. The fund is expanding. We have already helped 30 veterans find work. I think you would be proud. Liam asks when you are coming. He says hi. Love, C. She smiled and typed back. I am proud. We will come for Christmas. Say hi to Liam. Love, H. Jake wandered into the kitchen, sleepy, in an old t-shirt. Morning, Lieutenant Colonel. Morning, mechanic. He kissed the top of her head and poured coffee. Plans for the day. Training cadets. Then a meeting with the command. You? The garage. I have 3 cars in the shop. He sat across from her. But I will be free tonight. Maybe a movie. Maybe just home. She took his hand. I am tired of people. Home sounds perfect. They sat in silence, drinking coffee, watching the sun climb higher. A simple morning, ordinary life. Jake. I am happy. He squeezed her fingers. Me too. On the wall hung a photo from the awards ceremony. Harper in uniform with the medal between her parents and Cole. Everyone smiling. Jake looked at the photo. Do you miss flying? Sometimes. But not the war. She looked at him. I have a different mission now. Teaching others. Living a real life. Building a home. Building a family. She went still. He watched her seriously, without joking. Jake, I am not rushing you. I am just thinking ahead. He smiled. You would be a wonderful mother. I do not know. I do. You know how to save, to protect, to love. He stood, came around the table, and went to one knee. Harper Reed, will you marry me? Her heart stopped. He pulled a small velvet box from his pocket. Inside, a ring glowed simple, elegant. Jake, I know it is early. I know we have been together a year. But I knew after that first kiss on the roof. You are my person, my home, my everything. His voice trembled. Say yes. She cried and laughed and nodded. Yes, 1,000 times yes. He slid the ring onto her finger, stood, and kissed her. She held him tight for good. Birds sang outside the window. The sun shone. Life was simple and complicated at once. But for the first time in many years, Harper felt she had found her place. Not in the sky, not at war, here, at home. 3 months later, she went back to Texas, this time with news and plans. Cole met them on the porch and hugged them both. Congratulations, sis. Congratulations, future brother-in-law. Her mother cried with joy. Her father gripped Jake's hand and did not let go for a long time. Take care of her. I swear it. At dinner, Liam, Harper's nephew, came to her with a pencil and a notebook. Aunt Harper, may I ask a question? Of course. When you flew, were you scared? She crouched to his level. Yes, Liam. Very scared. But you flew anyway. Yes. Why? She thought. Because there were people who needed help, and I could help them. Liam nodded, solemn. I want to help when I grow up too. You will, she smiled. You are Cole's son. It runs in the family. Cole stood in the doorway listening. When Liam left, he came over. Thank you, he said quietly. For what? For showing me who you are. For not giving up on us. For giving me a chance to be better. She hugged her brother. We are family, Cole. Family does not give up. That evening, the whole family sat in the living room. The wall now held not one photo of Harper in uniform, but a small gallery, her crew, the ceremony, the awards. Beneath each one, captions, dates, stories. You know, her father said, I spent a long time thinking about why I asked you to keep quiet. Was I afraid? Yes, but not for you. For me. Dad. No, let me say it. He set his whiskey down. I was afraid you would outshine all of us. That Cole would feel worthless. That I, a worn-out vet who never did much, would look worse. He smiled sadly. Selfish, right? Dad, you did a lot. You raised us. You built a family. That matters more than medals. Roger stood, came to her, and hugged her. You are the best thing I ever did, Harper. You and Cole. And I am not ashamed of you anymore. I shout to anyone who will listen, my daughter is a hero. She leaned into his shoulder like she had as a child. I love you, Dad. I love you too, honey. I always have, even when I was silent. When night settled over Texas, Harper stepped onto the terrace. Jake came up behind her and wrapped his arms around her. What are you thinking about? About how it all turned out right. All those years, all that pain, all that silence, they brought me here. To you. To this. To happiness? Yes, to happiness. They stood there holding each other, looking at the stars. Somewhere up there, in that sky, she had flown, rescued, survived. But now she was home, finally home. Subscribe to our channel so you do not miss out, because this is nothing compared to what is next. If you are under 18, do not even think about clicking next.